Welcome to the Rewards Master Live. This is our 21st live session, I believe, and just glad to have anyone who jumps in as a part of our discussion today. Let me look over here and see who we have. Let's see, we got a couple who are already in. That's good, especially since I didn't really advertise this one in advance very much. So I apologize about that because I generally do these at 3 o'clock every Sunday afternoon, and that's my typical pattern. And I plan to do that every Sunday afternoon, be as consistent as possible. But today was a little different in that I had a meeting that was scheduled this afternoon, and I thought it was going to take pretty much the whole afternoon, but it ended up running way shorter. So, in other words, I'm apologizing to all of my regulars here because I didn't have it out as soon as I normally do, and also because I just didn't plan for this one. But because I'm trying to be consistent on the channel with content, even when traveling and other things are going on, I still wanted to do some kind of live since I ended up having the time and my meeting didn't run near as long as I thought it was going to. So what I've done today is I've kind of went through some of my comments and some of the thoughts and questions that have come up on some of my recent videos, and hopefully it'll give us some good conversation and some good things to explore together. Let me go over and see what we have. Let's see, we got 6 or 8 in here already. Some of our regulars. Let's see who we have. Miles of Smiles. Hey, everyone. Good to have you here, Miles of Smiles. Channel member, great to have you back, and thank you for your support. That's great. DEM, who is always here. Appreciate you. He's giving a wave. Give you a wave back. Good to have you. RC, great supporter of the channel. Great channel member, says, hey, good to have you here. You're often here. Thank you for that. And Johnny Jimenez, channel member. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. That's great. All right. Well, we have 10 that have jumped in now. So let's go ahead and let me pull this up to the stage here. All right. So typically what I do is I go through this. I just threw it up at the beginning because I use the template for what I'm going to do today. But typically we try to get to 6 different things, often don't, but we try to get to new developments, restaurant rewards, because I'm one of the only ones who ever talks about that, but I think it's a great reward, piece of your overall setup that is often overlooked. Centerpiece, which is kind of the main event thing I try to talk about every time. Upcoming travel, reward, deal of the day, status stuff. So that's pretty typical. But as I said, today, I had a meeting scheduled this afternoon for work that I just could not get out of. It was important, and I thought it was going to run all afternoon. It really only ran about an hour, so I got out, but I didn't have anything prepared because I didn't think I was going to be able to do a live today. That's why I didn't schedule it early this morning or yesterday. So I decided, well, I think everyone deserves, if I can, to do a little bit of something to be consistent, because my player 2, Nona, she always says cancellation is death. That's like one of her famous quotes, famous things that she says. Cancellation is death. So I since I could do it, I wanted to do it. So that's why I'm here, and I put some stuff together from some of my recent comments. So we're going to go through some of those. Let me go back to comments real quick. Let's see. Law LC6RC is often here and says hello. Law, good to have you here. And then we have Miles of Smiles, channel member, gifted 5 Rewards Master memberships. That's like the best. Thank you so much. That's just like, it's even better that would come out to like a $15 super chat, but it's even better because it gets people involved in the channel. They might like it. They might like the members only video, and they might stick around. So that is a fantastic way to support the channel. Thank you, Miles of Smiles. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it so much. Nuracan71 says, how's it going all? Well, good to have you here, Nuracan. Great to have you with us. DEM, book Miami to Medellin at 2.5, 2.8 cents per point with life miles. Use the Citi transfer bonus. Not the best redemption, but I'll take it. Hey, anything that's over 2 cents per point, I'm going to call a win. So at, like you said, 2.8 cents per point, DEM, that's a win. And that Citi transfer bonus was pretty good. So, Yeah, I didn't do it because I'm kind of cooling right now on. I don't have a lot of redemptions with. Who'd you say you used there? Let's go back to it. Life miles. So Avianca. Well, Avianca, I've done one redemption with them. I do have a bunch of points there. So about every 6 months, I transfer 1,000 points to keep them alive. Because if you don't, by the way, this is a tip. If you do anything with Avianca, you got to set yourself a reminder because those points will expire in 12 months. But you can keep them alive just by doing transfers. So no matter what, every 6 months, I transfer 1,000 points from somewhere just to keep it alive. But 2.8 cents per point, man. I'm not gonna scoff at that. I think that's respectable. Alex Y, channel member, says, "Wow, thanks." So he must have benefited from the 5 memberships that Miles of Smiles gave. So he says, "Thanks, Miles of Smiles. Thank you so much." Okay, DEM says Avianca. Yeah, Avianca like Miles. All right. Law says, hoping to get good business flight to Seoul, South Korea in January. Any suggestions? Well, no, I not off the top of my head, but South Korea's, Korean Airlines, it's hard to transfer points for them. So you've got to be looking for something else. I'll mull that over. Maybe I'll do a channel member video or something on that in the near future. All right. So the first thing I want to get out of the way is thanks. So these are folks who either gave channel memberships or they gave some kind of like super chat, super sticker, some kind of financial support to the channel, either on last week's live session or throughout the week, because I've noticed a few are starting to do that throughout the week, and I appreciate that so much. So DEM, who's here today, gave a super sticker, super chat last week. Thank you so much. RC, who's also already on here today, did the same. Law, who's also on here already, did the same. Kevin P last week gave some support to the channel. Thank you so much. And Mike Newland gifted some membership. So I appreciate that so much. And throughout the week, this week, Fridge 56 Vet, I don't know that he's ever supported the channel before, and I appreciate it so much because through the week he did so. And then Joe NY Law is often here, and he supported the channel through the week as well. So appreciate that very much. Law says, thanks. You're most welcome. All right. So let's move on to some comments that I got on videos through the week. I got some really good ones on some of my members only videos. However, since this live is not for members only and it goes live to everybody, I figure if people make comments on a public video, then they know that everybody can read their comments. So that's why I don't feel bad to put those on here. But if you make a comment on a members only video, I won't share it on one of these lives because that's for members only and that's kind of behind a paywall. So I just don't feel right doing that. So even though I had some really good ones in the members only videos, I chose not to share any of those for that reason because I want to respect people's privacy as much as possible. But this first one was on a video that I did in the last couple of weeks called Why the Citi Strata Card is the Hidden Gem of 2025. Best duo with the Citi Strata Elite. And the video, the genesis of that video was that I don't think many people are talking about the Citi Strata card. Now, I don't mean the Strata Premier or the Strata Elite. I mean that white card, the Citi Strata card, the one that used to be the Citi Rewards Plus card. Now, my Citi Strata card still says Citi Rewards Plus because I had a Citi Rewards Plus card, and that's what they product changed automatically over to the Strata card, which was a weird move for Citi because usually Citi just grandfathers their cards and they just let you keep them. That's what's happened with the Prestige. And I know several of you have the Prestige. I have the Prestige and love it. And they haven't yet made us transfer to anything else. So we've got to keep it. So my hope was always that they'd let me keep the Rewards Plus because the Rewards Plus is a terrible card. I mean, it's just not a good earning card, but it has one feature that's really awesome. And that is when you pool it with all your points, it has a 10% back feature. So what that means is when you transfer out up to 100,000 points a year, when we used to do that, if you held the Rewards Plus card, you got 10% back. So that made your points worth 10% more, which Citi points are already worth a lot. So that was really, really good. So transfer out 100,000 points, you get 10,000 points back. So that's why those of us who had it, I mean, I don't know anybody who ever used the thing, to spend with. It just sat in a drawer, but it was so helpful for that. Well, they changed it over to the Citi Strata card, and I was very disappointed at first. But then I got to study in the Citi Strata card, and wow, the Citi Strata card's really kind of good. I mean, it's a no annual fee card. It does have a foreign transaction fee, so it's not good for that purpose. But it's kind of like a clone of the Citi Strata Premier without the transfer partners, because it has 3X on a lot of categories. I don't think it does dining. Maybe it does, but I don't care about the dining anyway. I got so many dining cards. But it has 3X grocery, 3X gas. It has 3X on a category of your choice. And it's weird things like barbershops and all that. But the one that's probably most pertinent for people is it has 3X on streaming services. And then it also has 3X, I believe, on just general transit. So that card is really almost as good, minus the dining. But if you got dining with something else, it doesn't matter, as the Citi Strata Premier card. But you can't transfer with just it. Well, you can to some things, but you get a really bad ratio. And then it has a foreign transaction fee. So I got to thinking, what could you pair this card with? And I got thinking about the new Citi Strata Elite. And I thought, everybody talks about trifectas and quadfectas and all this, but wow, what a duo that would be. Because think about it. If you just had the Strata, that zero annual fee card, and the Citi Strata Elite card, then you would have a $595 a year setup, okay? But you would get Priority Pass, you get 4 AA certificates, you'd get a $300 hotel certificate every year through the Strata Elite, you'd get a $200 splurge credit that I'm going to use for American Airlines. I mean, that's one of the things you could choose. You could also choose Ticketmaster, Best Buy, some others. But then you also get the 2 Black Lane credits of $100 each, which is, I know people dog on that, but I think it's a very, very, very cool feature. I've used it. I ended up paying $6 for basically a limo ride and them holding up the sign for me and all that at the baggage claim. So it's really, really a cool credit. So you get all that. And like I said, Priority Pass, 4 American Airlines lounges, access. And then you'd have, with the Citi Strata Elite card, you'd have 3X on dining all the time, but you'd have 6X on dining 8 times a month. So every Friday night, every Saturday night. And I know that you got to look at Eastern Standard Time, but whatever. It's Friday and Saturday night. You get 6X, which is just amazing. I mean, that's the best dining multiplier I know of out there, period. Absolutely. And then if you paired it with this no annual fee card, then you're going to get 3X on gas, 3X on transit, 3X on streaming, and 3X on grocery. And the Citi Strata Elite would be your catch-all card because it gets 1.5X on general spending. And I'm telling you, I think people are sleeping on that 1.5X because everybody doesn't pay attention, because Citi also has the double cash card that gives 2X on everything. But what they're not realizing is this is a premier card. This is a top-level card. This is the high annual fee that transfers to everybody card that gets 1.5X on everything. And that beats Chase and American Express's top cards all over town. Now, yes, the Venture card is 2X on everything, but it doesn't have any other categories, like the 6X on dining for 8 times a month. So to me, that's a pretty awesome 2-card setup. And getting to transfer to American Airlines and Choice at 2 points per point transferred, I mean, that's really good. So you're getting 3X on dining, 6X on dining some of the time. You're getting 3X groceries, 3X gas, 3X streaming, 3X on transit, and you're getting 1.5X everything else. I mean, I think that's pretty awesome. And it just doesn't get talked about much. So that's what that video was about. That was a base for summation. But this comment comes from COVERTX Lit and says, I feel like it's a great simple setup for a great lounge access to the Citi Strata Elite or Premier plus Strata plus AMEX Platinum. Can book simple flights through the Citi portal, then bigger flights direct with airlines through Platinum. All the gas, groceries, etc. is on the basic Strata. So what COVRT Lit is saying, they're saying that you could pair it with the Platinum card, and then you're getting that 5X on airfare as well. Now, I will say you would not need to do that if you booked your airfare through Citi's portal, which I don't like to do that. So I'm not recommending to do that, because what I use is the Prestige that gets 5X direct with airlines. So, but yet you could do that and not have to go the Amex Platinum route, but it would work. So I thought it was an interesting comment. What do you think about Cove RTX Lit's idea about pairing it with the Platinum? Do you think that's necessary? I'd be curious of your comments. Let me go on here and see what other comments we've got. All right. Gentleman Explorer, channel member, often here, says, good day, sir. Good to see you. Great to have you here. Joe NY Law says, hello. Hey, Joe, we mentioned you earlier for the support you gave the channel through the week. Also a channel member. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate it. Great to have you here again. DEM says, Citi Strata card is basically a green without an annual fee and foreign transaction fees. Yeah. I mean, and if you have the Citi Elite, or even if you had the Premier, I guess, but it's got too much overlap with the Citi Strata Premier. But if you have the Elite with this card, it's no annual fee. It makes you have the like Super Citi Duo. I mean, it's great, I think. And yeah, it's got everything the green card does basically. That doesn't have the dining, but you don't need the dining. I think it's 2X on dining, but you don't need the dining when you have the Strata Elite. So I mean, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. DEM also says, totally agree. Strata is a sleeper. I have my gym membership on it and use it for some expenses. 1K spend for 30K. Thank you points isn't bad either. Nope. It has like he's talking about, it has a sign up bonus, 30,000 for 1K spend. That's pretty good. Now I can't get that because mine was product change, but yeah, it's a sleeper card in my opinion. DEM says that self-select category is pretty cool on the Strata. Yeah, I think so. It's, to me, that makes it feel a little bit like that quirky card from Wells Fargo. What's it called? The Tune? Is that what it's called? The Wells Fargo, that one that gets 4X on a lot of strange categories like haircuts and dog grooming and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of a little bit quirky like that, which I think is really kind of neat. All right, so let me know what y'all think about Cove RT Lit's idea about pairing it with the Amex Platinum. To me, it seems like not necessary, but might be. I mean, it depends on how much you spend on flights, I guess. A lot of people in this game don't do a lot of paid flights. They do a lot of reward flights. So let me know what you think. All right. I just threw this one in because I thought it was funny. The London 447 says, you could probably do an amazing Trump impersonation. I just know it. Well, I've never tried, but I could say things like, this is the most marvelous channel in the world or whatever, he always talks about things being so incredible and great and marvelous and all that. So I guess I could do that, but I don't see it. I don't see myself doing a Trump impersonation. I just threw that one in there because I liked it. So I thought it was funny. All right. Before we get to the next one, let's see. DEM says also Strata Premier doesn't cover tolls. That's true. It doesn't. And the Strata does. Yeah, it's got a broader transit category. It does. That's true. So in some ways it's better. I mean, I just think that just all a person would have to carry is two cards, and you'd have priority pass. You'd have all these credits. You'd have only a $5.95 annual fee, and you'd have coverage on almost every major category. It'd be really good in that way. RC says, off topic, but pro tip. I recently used my, let's see, that would be CSE. You're talking about the Elite card at a brew house movie theater, and it categorized as dining. So I got 6X. Could buy gift cards on Friday, Saturdays to get movies at 6X. Hey, man, that is what we want to hear, RC. That is a pro tip for sure. So if you go to a brew house movie theater, I don't think we have any of those where I live, but I've seen them before, like Alamo. I think one of them's called Alamo, the ones in Texas. And so those are, yeah, that's awesome. So you get 6X on going to the movies, just go on Friday, Saturday night, or buy a gift card, and there you go. That's awesome. People, I'm telling you, people sleep on that. I just heard a creator the other day, and I respect this creator. I like their content, but he just really doesn't like the Elite and was very, very clear about it. And I'm like, I said, I respectfully disagree because I just think the elite is, I just don't see how people don't see how great it is. But that's just, I guess I'm biased in my own way, which is okay. All right. This comment was also on that same video about the duo from Citi. Urig 2530 said, I prefer the CSP and a bunch of custom cash cards. I have 15 Citi cards. 10 of them are custom. Whoa. 10 of them are custom caches. A Prestige, AT&T Access and More, CSE, and Sears. Well, I don't have the Sears or the AT&T. I hear they're good, but don't have them. I have 2 custom caches. But 10 custom caches, you're getting 5X on everything, man. That is awesome. And that eliminates the worry about $500 a month in a cap. That is amazing. So that is the strategy. I can't remember who the guy is. There's a guy who does a YouTube channel. Somebody remind me in the comments if you know his name. R something, but he travels in Africa a lot, and he does a lot on Citi, and he does a lot on Built as well. But he calls it the Citi Magnificent Five, and his thing that he pushes. And I want to be able to send people to his channel. So if anybody remembers his channel name, put it in the comments. But he travels in Africa a lot. He's really got a lot of interesting stuff. He's very energetic and exciting, and I really like that about him. But he really pushes the Citi Magnificent Five. So basically in that, he says you need to have the double cash, you need to have the Premier card, and then you need to have 3 Citi custom caches. And he talks about how basically you're getting high multipliers on pretty much everything. That's it. Yep. DEM said R Squared Travel. That's who it is. So go check him out. R Squared Travel. Absolutely. All right. DEM says, I like him. Yeah, I like it too. It's good stuff. And R Lambert also agreed. R Squared. All right. Good stuff. All right. So that having a bunch of custom caches, to me, the custom cache, I have stopped, and this is just me, but I have 2 or 3 like of the Chase Freedom Flex type cards. We have an original Freedom and a Freedom Flex, and we used to try to chase those rotating categories. I just don't do it anymore. I just use the custom cache because it's like the rotating category stuff. It's just, you got to keep track of it. How did they ever rope people into being willing to do that? I mean, I guess that's good strategy and good marketing on Chase's part, because at least once a quarter, everybody's thinking about their Chase cards. Maybe that's a good thing, and going in and checking it and all that. But really, I just, that rotating category, to me, the custom cache made the rotating category cards a little bit obsolete, because especially now that Citi points are worth so much. I mean, it's just, to me, so much better just to get to choose for yourself what you want the category to be. All right. I don't think we have any more comments. We do have 31 watching right now. That's a good number. Thank you. Appreciate everybody for being here. If you haven't hit the like button, let's see how many likes we got so far. We got 17 likes out of 32 people watching. So if you would hit the like button, that helps people. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate that greatly. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be a great goal to reach. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. And then, of course, any super stickers, super chats, anything like that also helps the algorithm to get more people. So all of that is greatly appreciated. All right, the next comment, also on the Citi Strata card duo, Kev 14609 says, you have to wonder why Chase is being so strategic with not giving a full grocery and gas category. I think this setup is killer. Well, I appreciate you. I think it is too. But I've often thought about what is Chase's in-game strategy. And my personal opinion is Chase is so big that they kind of don't care. I mean, I'll tell you, when I'm out and about and with, people from work or people from church or people who are just friends, and we're all out eating or whatever it may be, and everybody's paying for their bill, I seldom see Citi cards. I sometimes see Amex cards, and I, very seldom, every now and again, I'd say Amex and Capital One, I see about the same, but I see Chase cards all the time. They have a huge market share. I mean, they do. And I know AMEX has a big market share too, but I mean, just of normal people who don't play the points and miles game, just regular old folks who have a credit card. Chase, they seem to have a lot of them. And just from my own experience and observation, that's not scientific, but they just seem to have it everywhere. And so I think that Chase, they're the largest bank. I've banked with Chase in the past. They were fine. I mean, they're good. I don't. I mean, everybody knows that their points are valuable mostly because of Hyatt. I mean, I would say that their airline partners are all right. I mean, they do have they have who's the one I'm thinking? Air Canada, that's really good, and of course they have all the standards like Flying Blue and British Airways and all that. But their partnership with Hyatt, I think, kind of has made them in the points and miles world. If somebody else gets Hyatt, or if Hyatt is not exclusive anymore in the future, and Bilt already has them, I think that would hurt them because, frankly, I think Chase, and somebody may disagree, please do. I'm not always right about everything, but in my experience, I have a bunch of Chase cards. I think we have like 11 of them between us, and they have some great features. I mean, they're the best to rent a car with because you get that, they have great travel protections if people care about that. I don't pay attention to it much, but some people do. I mean, they have a lot of that. But as far as multipliers, I mean, every card is a dining card. Every single one. They say the exact same number. And a lot of it overlaps. They don't have any grocery, as it says here, grocery and gas. I mean, those are two major spend categories. And it's like Chase refuses. Like it's a line in the sand that I'm not going to. And that's the other thing as a creator. I watch some of the big creators and they're like, well, the bank in blue and all that. It's like they can't say their name or something. I guess if you get affiliate deals, you can't talk about them or something anymore. I don't know what the deal is. So I ain't going to do that ever because I don't care about it that much. And it just, when it comes to not being able to talk, that's the biggest thing to me is I want to be able to share my real opinion. But Chase, I mean, yeah, I guess they're so big that they just think people are going to go with them anyway. I guess. I don't know. Because that grocery and gas, that's a big miss. It's a huge miss, at least in my opinion. Okay, DEM says a banker here. Oh, cool. All right, says Chase has about 25% of Americans as their customers. That's a huge number. So what you're saying is my just observation when I'm out to eat with people is pretty accurate. I mean, they're Chase cards everywhere. They're everywhere. So yeah. Well, thank you for that, DM. I appreciate it. Sleepy Rod, Chase is only good because of Hyatt. I don't imagine using my Chase points for anything else. Yeah. I mean, I've topped off some things with them before. And, like I needed a few extra points for a United redemption. I topped off with it. But usually I get most of those through Mileage Plus X. But yeah, I mean, that's really what our Chase points are for if we want to stay at Hyatt's. And frankly, if you could earn Bilt points easier, they're way, way, way better because they have Hyatt and they have Alaska and then all the others. I mean, so they're way better. DEM, I don't hold a single Chase card or product personally. Okay. That's interesting coming from a banker. So that's yeah. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see who we got on here. We got 25 watching now, 21 likes. That's pretty awesome. Thank y'all. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Appreciate it very, very much. Oh, I can't believe I missed this. All right. Law gave a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very much. All right. Let's go to the next comment. This is on that same video. The Citi Strata Elite doesn't come with a bunch of monthly coupons to juggle. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to highlight this comment. This comes from YouTube video watcher I7M. And this is why I like it. This is why I like the Venture X too. And I've been irritated with the Venture X. I might be starting to forgive them a little bit because I'm starting to see some I appreciate that they're not changing very much. It's just that for me, that lounge access change is really, really, it gets in my craw. I mean, it really bugs me, but they haven't raised their fee. They haven't changed their dynamics of the card except for that. I appreciate that. But I see the AMEX Platinum, I see the Chase Sapphire Reserve playing on a different field than the Citi Elite and the Venture X. I think the Citi Elite and the Venture X are comparable as the same type of cards. And although they're all premium cards, I see the other two. The other two are coupon book extreme, right? They're like that old entertainment book they used to have in big cities, right? That you could buy it for 25 bucks and you had all these different buy one, get one frees and all that. That's what those are like. And I don't mind those. I don't hate it too bad. I'm a spreadsheet warrior, so I don't mind to do it too bad. But that's not what the Venture X is for sure. It's got one credit, easy to use, one credit. And then really the Strata Elite is the same ballpark. It's got three credits, but the two primary credits, and they're easy to use. I mean, the Citi Strata Elite has that hotel credit. And to me, that hotel credit is very good because people are like, well, I've heard people criticize it because it's 2 nights. It's 2 nights required. Like, well, the same reason they criticize it in the same breath as they would criticize like the Chase Reserve. It is not like the edit credit. It is not like that, because you know what you can't do with the edit credit of what is it? It's $500 a year. Is that right? $250 a time. You know what you can't do is book 2 nights at $125 a night and have it be free. It's not free. You prepay, but you get the point. I mean, but you can do that with the Citi credit, because I did it. You can book 2 $150 a night rooms back to back, and they'll pay for the credit, and there's no more out of your pocket. I mean, you can do that. And so to me, that's an easy to use credit. And yeah, but it's for 2 nights. It's 2 nights. I mean, who doesn't stay 2 nights, you know? So it's a different kind. It's not meant to be an FHR credit. It's just a hotel credit. And then to be able to get $200 with their main partner now, which is American Airlines, what an easy credit. It's just easy. They're playing on a different field. They're playing a different game. Yes, they're competing for that high level, but it's different, in my opinion, at least. All right, let's go back to some comments. Cesar Joel, the host of our big event next month in Puerto Rico. I'm so excited to meet you and so many others in person, my friend. Great to have you here. He says, good afternoon, everyone. Good to have you here. RC, great channel member, great supporter, gives a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you, RC. You do that every week, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for your support. DEM, Rewards Master, are you in the green with your prestige each year, or are you covering it through spend at 5X Dining? I only pay $175 for mine, so I'm curious. I always, in fact, in my budget, you know, I'm a spreadsheet monster. So I do spreadsheets, I do budgets, you know, all that. So I'll be able to tell you, like, for instance, if you watch my videos a lot, you know that last year I went to 102 lounges because I keep track. That's just the way I do. I keep track of every penny I spend. I have for 30 years. That's just how I budget. I was a Dave Ramsey envelope person, and now I'm a credit card digital envelope person. I keep track of everything. That's just who I am. And so I know exactly what I'm getting back on my cards. And yes, I get my prestige back every single year because I get the $250, you know, big credit. The other thing that I get from that is I use the free night at least once. So sometimes I use it twice. Like, what's really awesome is when I'm booking rooms for myself and then others, which I do sometimes book rooms like that. I'll use it on both of us and get 2 of them, like, basically at one time. But at least once a year, I'll book a 4-night stay. That's, you know, I might be under by 50, because sometimes it's $200 a night, and maybe I'm under by $50 or something. So basically, yes, I more than cover it. But the 5X on dining, and don't forget the 5X on airfare. I get a lot of reimbursable work travel, so I get the 5X on airfare as well. So that's pretty easy for me to make up. So I hope that answers the question, because I definitely feel I get my value back every single year. In fact, I know I do because I keep track of it all. Okay, Hugo Sejas, I guess, I hope I'm saying that right. Hugo says, the good thing about the Strata is that it has entertainment as a choice. Entertainment is expensive, so a great way to get points back. Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked into how broad that entertainment category is. I'd be curious if it's just live entertainment or like movie theaters and stuff like that, because that could really be good. Good to have you here, by the way, Hugo. Thanks for the comment. RC, do television subscriptions categorize as entertainment for the Strata? No, I think they would categorize. I think they would categorize as streaming. So that's its own category that you can do as your choice on that kind of choice that you get on that card. DEM $1.99. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Maurice Reed says, I'm stalking the Strata Premier elevated bonus, sign-up bonus of 70 to 75 points. Hopefully one will come up soon. Yeah. And Maurice, hopefully you don't have too many inquiries, because Citi is notoriously bad about rejecting people because of too many inquiries. However, and somebody else may be able to address this as well. This is just my own personal experience, but my player 2 and I have quite a few Citi cards, and we found that they're not that hard about approving us who already have their cards. So I don't know if that's a true data point or just been our own experience, because we do have usually quite a few inquiries, but yet we still seem to get approved. Didn't have any problem with the Elite recently. So there's that. All right, let me go to the next comment here. This was also on the same card, the same video. Strata is basically a cash card due to limited transfer partner compared to Freedom, Unlimited, and Flex, especially if you're team travel. Agree with the multipliers are higher, but it's not a true team travel setup. This was by OG Pinoy Raider 2749, and I would disagree. I think that the two cards together are a crazy good travel setup. At least that's my opinion. I mean, I think they're a crazy good travel setup, especially now that American's on board with them. And you got Choice Hotels as a great hotel option, and then some other hotel options as well that are, some of them have really good transfer rates. So I'm going to disagree and say I think it's a really good. I mean, if you're comparing it to Chase, I think it's a better. I mean, the points are just worth more. I mean, if you're a maximizer like we typically are that are tuning into this channel, I mean, I'm sorry, but Hyatt are great for a hotel redemption, but that ain't going to compare to American Airlines, what you can get on business and first class travel internationally. I mean, Citi points are worth more. They just are, at least in my estimation. Let's see. We got a couple more comments here. Cindo says the Freedom cards can't even transfer to partners by themselves. This comment is crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm not trying to be insultive. I'm just saying that I know a lot of people really like the Freedom. I mean, and what's funny is the Strata can transfer. It just has a bad transfer rate, but at least it has the power to by itself. But when you pair it with the Elite, it's a really, really good setup, I think. And I just don't see where the commenter got that idea. Sleepy Rod, good to have you here, Sleepy Rod. Often here. My hack for Citi is have two mailing addresses. I found that using one versus another mailing address could be the difference between Citi Pull and Equifax or Experian. Really? Well, that's kind of a good hack. I mean, I hadn't even thought of that. So yeah, I guess I don't know if a PO box would work for that or not, but man, yeah, it's a good idea. Sleepy Rod, Cesar Joel, the man, the myth, the legend. That's right. So looking forward to meeting him and so many others at the Creator Meetup next month. It's going to be great. All right, let's see. We've got 40 watching, 24 likes. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Like I said, I'm really hoping to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That'd be a great goal and achievement. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who's given super stickers and super chats, and then the 5 memberships that were donated. That's absolutely awesome. That all helps the algorithm to get more people in here as well. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, this is on a different video. So this was on my American Airlines Admirals Club Chicago O'Hare review. Now, you'll notice on my channel, most of it, I even have it scheduled out. So on Fridays, I usually do some kind of travel thing. And on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, on Mondays and Saturdays, I do like a card video. And then on Wednesdays, I'll do something that's kind of card adjacent or related to it. So I'm trying to have some consistency, because when I was just consuming YouTube content on this, I always was frustrated because I do run out of things to watch, and I was, sometimes I wouldn't know when people would publish and stuff. So I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. But on Fridays, I'm doing some of this travel stuff because we actually do travel. We go to lots of lounges. We fly in business class. So I'm doing some of those. And this one was about American Airlines Admirals Lounge. And so I'm trying to do some on the different Admirals clubs because people talk about how bad they are. And I'm going to say, I've been in some that are not great. Okay. They're not great. But I flew with United and had their club card for years. And I've been in a whole lot of United clubs that weren't great. I mean, I don't across the board think United are that much better than Americans Admirals clubs. And I do think the Admirals clubs are getting better and their food's getting better. In fact, besides the Al Safwa or Al Safwa or whatever that is, the first class lounge in Doha, where we had an amazing, amazing meal last month. But besides that, the best meal I've ever had in a lounge was in the Admirals Club Lounge in Phoenix, Arizona, because it was this shrimp taco thing that was just like, if you like shrimp, it was amazing. So I'm just trying to do evaluations of them to give people some ideas. So TB Gothard said, I am ORD, that's Chicago based, and remember when the current club opened after the remodel. I've always liked it. LHR Arrivals Lounge is one of my favorites globally. Philadelphia was also really great. Despite them being older, Charlotte and LGA also have great service. I'm hoping to try the remodeled LGA Lounge, but may end up at the Sapphire Lounge. So what he's saying is that as a longtime flyer with American, that their clubs, some of their clubs, you can't just take a broad brush and say they're all bad. They're not. Now, are they the like a business class lounge? No. Are they Centurion Lounge? Well, sometimes, but for the most part, no. Do they compare to a Capital One or Sapphire? Not really, but they're really not that bad most of the time. And so I wanted to highlight this comment because as a person who holds the Citi executive card for AA and gets access for myself and two guests, and has gone already this year into 35 plus Admirals Club lounges, I just don't. I think they get a little bit of a bad rap. Maybe somebody had one bad experience, but they're really not all that bad in my experience. All right. RC, remind me which cards you need to get into the Sapphire Lounge. Would like to try it. Okay. Any card that has priority pass will get you into the Sapphire Lounge once a year. So you can go in once a year with your priority pass. Now, if you have two priority passes, you can go in twice a year because you can use each different account. So that's how it works. But if you have the Ritz-Carlton credit card from Chase, or if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the one that just got revamped at $7.95 a year, those give unlimited access for you and guests to the Sapphire. But you can get access for yourself once a year if you have a priority pass. So that's that. I hope that answers your question there. Cesar says, Sleepy Rod says hello. Good. And then Joe NY Law, $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate it. Appreciate it so very, very much. Great supporter of the channel. All right, let's move on to the next slide. We have 38 watching and 26 have hit the like button. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate it very much. Okay, comment. This one's on my video about Hawaiian Airlines credit card. As far as I can tell, and people did comment back that they're having trouble finding the link. I could not find a link on Barclays for this after the first of the month, but I did find a link on the Hawaiian Airlines site. Now, whether that link works, I can't tell you, but I did find one. And I was simply talking about the fact that I am not going to use the Hawaiian Airlines card. It's a one and done card. There's none of the multipliers on there that matter to me. I'd rather just use the Bilt card to get Alaska points or Atmos rewards, I guess you call it now. So, but they had an 80,000 point bonus for, I think, a 2,000. Well, I think it's a tiered bonus. 50,000 points for 2,000 spend. Then when you hit 5,000 spend, you get the extra 30,000 points. So to me, that was just an easy win. And you got the full 6 months to get the 5,000 and spend. So that it was an easy win. Well, this comment from Justin Elliott 2000 said, can you have this card and the Alaska airline card at the same time? And so I just wanted to answer that. The answer is yes, because I do. And I got them about 4 months apart. So I got the Alaska card with Bank of America, and then I applied and got this one. So you can have both, but I don't know that you need both because they're both earning Atmos reward points now. And, they don't really have multipliers that would complement one another that I can tell. So that's the nearest I can tell. Let's see. We have 41 watching, 27 likes. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Doesn't look like we have any more comments right now directly to, so that's good. All right. Next video comment was also on the Hawaiian Airlines card. And Cesar Lee, V9C, said 85,000 sign up bonus, case closed. It was 80,000 I got, but yeah, to me, any card that I can have a moderate spend, and 2,000 in 3 months is very moderate. And to me, 5,000 in 6 months is very moderate. To get 80,000 plus miles in a very valuable currency, which nobody can argue that Atmos are not a very, very valuable currency. To me, that's an absolute win. It's a win every single time. All right, let's see. Next slide. Okay, this was on ranking business class products. Okay, so I did a video where I talked about the 8 business class products that Nona and I have flown in the last 2 years, and I showed some pictures in that video of different ones that we've done. And so the ones that we did is we've done British Airways, we've done, let me see, we've done United, Polaris, we've done American Airlines, we've done Condor, we've done Iberia. I'm counting off on my hand here. We've done Turkish, we've done Qatar, and we've done Etihad. So I did kind of a review of it and ranked them, and just give you a spoiler. You can go back and watch the video if you want, but the last place was British Airways. It's just not, we were on their old business class, just not great. The number 1 was Etihad. It was really good, but it barely edged out Qatar. And if we'd been on Q Suites, I think Qatar would have won, but Etihad and Qatar were just both amazing. They were so good. But Michael Corretto 9629 says, nice recap. We have Delta One to BCN in November. Hope to do ANA The Room in 2027. We've done United Polaris through ORD. Nice lounge. Yeah, the reason I shared this comment is because, first of all, Delta One, I would love to fly Delta One. I don't know if I ever will, because I can't find good redemptions on Delta ever. I mean, on business class. Sometimes I was kind of surprised when I recently did my, just either last week or the week before, I shared some of my point valuations for domestic travel that I did by running random numbers. And I found that Delta was a little bit better than I thought it was for domestic. But wow, the international stuff is just bad. I mean, 250, 350,000 points one way. No way. So Michael, I'm happy that he got that. I don't know how he did, but he did. So the other one here, though, that he mentions, and this is kind of the reason I wanted to highlight this comment. We've done United Polaris through ORD. Nice lounge. Yeah. Polaris lounges are really nice. I mean, we've been in the one, I think in Washington, D.C., and it was really nice. We flew Polaris business class, and we flew that to Rome, and it was really good. I like United's product. In fact, I ranked them number 4, only behind Qatar, Etihad, and Turkish, because I just thought Polaris, it was for being United, it was really impressive. The lounge was impressive. The service was good. The food was good. The seat was great. And the bedding, that Saks bedding is really, really nice. The only problem is that United's, their fares. I mean, I guess if you get it through Air Canada, you're going to get like a 70,000 point redemption if you can find it. But their own points, they're just not what they used to be. We used to get them for 60 or 65,000 points in business class, which that's a decent redemption. but now they're 80, and then most of the time 88,000 points for a business class redemption. That's just a lot. I mean, it's just a lot. So that's why I highlighted this comment. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about United Polaris, how good I think it is, but then how hard it is to find good value with it. All right, DEM says, Rewards Master, if you had to choose one ecosystem, which would it be? All things considered, points, perks, benefits, etc. Well, as it is, it would be Citibank because I like my prestige, and you might say, well, all you're going to get then is you're not going to, as far as lounges go. Well, you got to understand that with my prestige, I get restaurants, and I love Priority Pass restaurants. And then I'd have still American Airlines, and I fly American all the time domestically, and I love their points. So I think for me, it's not even a question right now. If they were off the table, like if you'd asked me before there was a transfer to American Airlines, I think my answer would probably have been Amex, just because I know I could keep the points parade going. Amex is always going to give me business cards. Seems like they have so far. They're always going to give me more points. I guess that would be my answer if Citi wasn't transferring over to American. And I guess if they create a better card, and if there were ways to get points, my first would be Built, because Built is awesome. I mean, it's awesome. It's just you can't get any points. That's the problem. Because for me, I don't rent. I own a house. So, and they don't do mortgages yet. So I haven't getting that. And then their multipliers, 3x on dining, yay. 2x on a couple other categories, yay. I mean, 1x. I mean, it's just not. But if Built, their transfer stuff is awesome. So I wish they had more, but it just is what it is. Good question. Thank you, DM. Nurican 71, good to have you here, says my player 3, which is my son that just turned 18, got approved for the Hawaiian card on a flight coming back home on Hawaiian Airlines. 80,000 Atmos for 2,500 spend in 3 months. Hey, I'm jealous. That's a better deal than I got. That is awesome. That is awesome. So you can still, I mean, they tell us that Alaska Airlines still, you can still get their cards with Barclays. So yeah, it's good. That's great. All right, who we got on here? We got 36 watching. And we have, let's see how many, 27 likes. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you, everybody, for all of your comments, for the super stickers, super chats, channel memberships. That's all great. DM says, I'm back and forth between Citi and Amex. Amex because of Rakuten and Air Canada, along with the extensive lounge access and perks. Citi for the multipliers, AA, and diverse card offerings. Yeah, I'm there too. I mean, those are my two primaries. I mean, I'm using Citi for my spend, and I'm just racking up points through signups with American Express. So yeah, those would be definitely my two primaries. However, if that rumor that people have been talking about is true, and Rakuten's going to start doing things with Built, oh wow, that could change. That could change a lot. Chad's Money Minutes, yo! Hey Chad, I just watched your video about creators and just some of your comments about getting together in person, and I'm excited to meet you and Cesar and everybody in person in Puerto Rico next month. That's going to be great. Thank you for joining us today. Not to mention the crazy high sign-up bonuses. Yeah, that's true for Amex for sure. RC, any advice on how I should transfer my Citi points to American? I plan to use them all on American, but don't have any upcoming travel. Does it matter when I do it? Well, it doesn't really matter with American because if you have an American card, your points never expire. And I guess that my philosophy and thinking on that would be, do you think there's something else you might use your Citi points for? Like, for instance, do you think you might have need for a hotel where you might want to do that 1 to 2 transfer over choice? Because that's a really lucrative transfer for hotel points. So there could be a few other things, or maybe you think you might find a good flight on one of their other partners, like say Flying Blue or something like that. And if it's the main amount of points you have, you might want to save them just in case. So the typical wisdom is don't just transfer, keep them in a transferable currency that you can transfer when you need them, where you need them. And I think generally that's good wisdom, but with American, you don't have to worry about that they're going to expire or go away or anything like that. So that's something to consider as well. Cesar says, mi hermano Chad says hello to Chad. Greg B, would you use Rakuten over AA shopping? Well, I think I might if the numbers are better and if I got built. Because here's the thing, I can rack up a lot of Citi points to get American miles, but it's much more difficult for me to rack up a lot of built points. So maybe in that case, after, and this is the key, after I've hit my loyalty point requirement that I'm shooting for that year for my American Airlines status, because, you know, I keep a certain status. And to me, I am still Platinum Pro, probably going to be Platinum Pro again for next year. But my bare minimum I want to hit is Platinum because I like the free main cabin extra seats when you book your flight. So that matters a lot to me. It's a good question, Greg. I hope that answers it. Sleepy Rod, I'm excited for the built Rakuten. Just hoping they can keep the current transfer ratio with Hyatt and Atmos. Yeah, that's essential. I mean, but if they do, that could be really, really good. I mean, Atmos rewards are very, very valuable. And then to also have Hyatt as an option. I mean, if Built had ways to earn points, they would be hands down the best in my opinion. But they don't. That's the problem. Timothy, good to have you here. Timothy says, I think with the current Built system, you have to reach platinum status, eat out a lot, and rent to get a lot of points. Yeah. So us homeowners, you know, if you've been able to get a little farther in life by buying a house or whatever, you're kind of out of luck unless you eat out a lot, right? I mean, that's pretty good observation there. But, you know, they keep saying they're going to get mortgages, but they keep saying it and keep saying it. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. What's your current catch-all card? Well, we have the Blue Business Plus. We also have the Venture X. But lately, I've been doing so many sign-up bonuses that I've just been having to put everything on those. But when those are kind of filled up, because I thought I was going to lay off of sign-up bonuses, and then my business platinum, my business gold card gave me an upgrade offer to business platinum that was pretty good. So now I'm on that. But when I'm done with sign-up bonuses, probably going to just product change one of our Citi cards to a double cash, and that'll be it. I think that'll probably be it. Until we do, probably the Elite, because at least it's given us 1.5. So NN3, good to have you here. NN3 says, for how long do you think our honeymoon with Atmos miles, specifically on AA flights, will last? I'm getting spoiled. Yeah, I don't know. Atmos did, you know, they kind of changed things up. I remember the frequent miler guys talking about it not that long ago. I mean, what, a year ago, something like that. So maybe it's going to last. I mean, I think more people are more concerned that American is going to do a big devaluation, but I don't know. I mean, everybody's talking bad about Citi. I mean, a lot of people are down on it. So maybe we'll get lucky and not everybody will realize how awesome it is and transfer over. But when it comes to Atmos, now that the American Express through Hawaiian transfer hack is over, maybe because of that, it'll last. You know, that's what I'm kind of hoping. But I will tell you, recently I've been doing some comparisons, and I'm thinking Atmos is better than AA points much of the time on international travel, particularly. But I've been finding in the routes that I checked, and I've been having ChatGPT check me random routes. I mean, random locations, random dates, and overall, American still has better points sometimes, even than that 4,500. You know, the problem is that very few flights if you're not in a major hub, are 4,500 point eligible because they're too far, you know. But the 7,500 point, the 12,500 point threshold with Atmos for AA flights is pretty common. But I find a lot of those AA flights that are 12,500, I can get for 9 or 10,000 with AA. So I don't know. I still think they're great and they have their purposes, but really, if you have both of them, it's the best of both worlds. All right, Sleepy Rod, the Rewards Master is AA status still worth it? I have the Summit card, trying to get Atmos Gold status, but considering if it's even worth it if upgrades happen less often now. Yeah, upgrades. I've been doing some trickery here going on. I've flown out of the same airport forever, but I have 3 airports that are basically the same distance. One of them maybe 15 minutes farther, one of them maybe 10, whatever. And I've been kind of switching that up, and I'm finding I'm getting a few more upgrades depending on the airport I fly from. And so I still think the upgrades have pretty much dried up, but I do think that platinum status is valuable. That to me is the sweet spot, because main cabin extra is a lot better than just when you're over 6 feet tall. Main cabin extra and that extra leg room is a lot better compared to sitting in the back. And you get that well booking. You get it automatically for you and 7 other people, I believe. And so that's pretty excellent. And then the other thing is getting the One World status for entry to their lounges. Although people talk about how great that is all the time, but I almost always fly business class overseas, so I don't really have a problem getting into a lounge. But if I ever needed it, that would be really nice. And then, of course, you get the priority boarding and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I think that I'm not going to go. I would have to devote everything there to get like to executive platinum. And I don't think that's worth it. I just don't. And I'm not sure my Platinum Pro is worth it, although I'm just going to hit it naturally this year. But I do think that some status is still worth it, but not if your only goal is upgrades, because you're just not going to get them that often. It just is. It's all changed. So Sleepy Rod, I hope that answers your question there. NB says, if you could open any new cards, which one would you put 75,000 on? Oh, that's an interesting question. If I could open any new cards, which one would I put 75,000 on? I probably would open an AMEX Business Platinum to get 250,000 points. And then, if you had especially large purchases that were over $5,000 each in that 75K, then you're going to get 2x on your multiplier. And so, I mean, it's just really hard to beat that. You got to have $20,000 in spend in 3 months to get that AMEX Business Platinum. But here's the kicker. They might let you do 2 of them, because on the business side, AMEX is really, really, really loose. It seems like they just keep giving me offers. So you might be able to spend 20,000 on one, and then 3 months later, they might let you get another one with a no time language offer, and then they might let you get another one. You could theoretically, if you could get 3 business platinums with that, you could get 750,000 points, maybe. I mean, I don't know. So I would probably try to be creative. I would probably open up multiple cards to be able to get the sign-up bonuses plus the multiplier on the 75,000. So that's the best answer I got on that. So, all right. Well, we have used up our hour, and I just want to go back through and thank everybody who has supported the channel. I'm always so humbled by that. Just even everybody being here, and then channel members, and then all those who gave things. I just appreciate it. Joe NY Law, $1.99. He's a channel member and a great supporter. Appreciate that. DEM, who's always here, great supporter, $1.99. Appreciate that. RC, again, channel member, $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Law, $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Let's see who else we had here. And Miles of Smiles, channel member, gave 5 gift memberships. So for everybody who supported me today, I appreciate you so much. For everybody who's here and commented and stuck through to the end, we still have 45 people watching here at the end. I appreciate that so much. For those of you who are creators, look forward to seeing you next month. Great to have everybody here. Great to have you here. So thank you so much. To close off, RC says, glad you made time to be on here today. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be able to, but it worked out. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and we will see you here next time.